Let's start with the question. How to prevent server crash while flying with Elytra. My friend and I recently just acquired a set of Elytra for the both of us. Naturally, we've been exploring like crazy. However, the server we play on tends to crash if we fly for too long in any given direction. The crash logs say things like "player moved too quickly" and "cannot keep up." I'm fairly certain we're just loading chunks too fast for the server to handle. My question is, what can we do client-side and server-side to try and prevent this? For reference, we're running 1.12 on an Ubuntu server. Also, when we fly we turn our render distance up to 20 to see farther. Both times this has happened, only one of us were flying, the other was staying near the spawn area. Server specs: 24 GB RAM, with 4 GB of it allocated to the MC server 2x2. 4 GHz Intel Xeon 5500, 6 cores, and hyperthreading 250 GB SSD runs OS. So how can we solve this? There are two possible answers. Answer 1. I've poked around a bit, and I think I have a few answers. You can either install a plugin that periodically unloads chunks, such as ClearLag, so that the server doesn't become overwhelmed with the amount of chunks loaded. Or you can lower the max render distance in the server config to reduce the number of chunks loaded. Answer 2. If you want to keep that render distance, there is one simple solution: allocate more RAM. 20 chunks of render distance while flying with an Elytra will knock out your memory. Especially when there are chunks being generated and not just loaded. You don't have to max it out so the CPU won't fry. You can simply use these in the server's startup parameters. XMs. Min value. XMX. Max value. The server will then initially use the min value of RAM and maybe use it up to the max value. You can choose the unit size, such as mega e.g. 4048M or gigabytes e.g. 4G. For example, XM's 4048M XMX 16192M. These would for example allocate at least 4 GB of RAM, and the server is allowed to use up to 16 GB. Using more RAM increases the CPU load, so you have to watch how far you can go with that. I hope these answers helped, and if they did, please drop a comment and subscribe.